Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Jennifer, and today we're diving into an essential topic for English learners: how to start learning English as a beginner.
Hi, everyone. I'm Thomas. If you're new here, we upload English learning podcasts to help you develop new phrases, improve your listening skills, and build a better understanding of English. Let's get started with some practical tips for beginners.
One of the first steps to learning English as a beginner is setting clear goals. Ask yourself why you want to learn English. Is it for travel, work, or studies? Knowing your purpose will help you stay motivated throughout the learning process.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Another important step is to start with the basics. Focus on common words and simple phrases that you can use in everyday conversations. Mastering these will give you a strong foundation for future learning.
I recommend practicing pronunciation early on. Use resources like language apps or listen to native speakers. This helps you get comfortable with the sounds of English, making it easier to speak and understand later.
Yes, and don't forget about listening skills. Watch videos, listen to podcasts like this one, or even songs in English. Listening regularly improves your understanding of words and how they are used naturally.
Creating a study schedule is another effective way to start. Set aside 20 to 30 minutes a day for English practice. Consistency is key, even if you can only commit a short time each day.
Finally, surround yourself with English. Label objects in your home with English words or switch your phone's language settings to English. Immersion helps your brain adapt to the new language faster.
As a beginner, using the right tools can make a big difference. Apps like Duolingo or Babbel are great for learning vocabulary and grammar. They are interactive and keep your learning process fun and engaging.
Yes, and YouTube is an amazing resource too. You can find channels specifically designed for English learners covering everything from basic grammar to conversation practice. Look for lessons tailored to beginners.
Reading books for beginners is another fantastic tool. Start with children's books or short stories written in simple language. This helps you get familiar with basic sentence structures and common words.
Podcasts like ours are another great option. Listening to natural conversations helps you learn how words are used in real-life situations. You can also pick up new phrases and improve your pronunciation.
For speaking practice, consider finding a language partner online. Websites like italki or Tandem connect you with native speakers or other learners, giving you the chance to practice conversational English.
And if you prefer learning through games, there are plenty of language learning games that teach vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation while keeping you entertained.
Let's not forget the power of a good notebook. Keep track of new words and phrases, write down grammar tips, and practice writing sentences. Reviewing your notes regularly reinforces what you've learned.
Exactly. A mix of tools, whether digital or traditional, can make your learning experience both effective and enjoyable. Start experimenting with these resources to see what works best for you.
When learning English, establishing good study habits is essential. Start by setting small, achievable goals. For instance, aim to learn 5 new words daily. This approach keeps you motivated and ensures steady progress without feeling overwhelmed.
That's a great tip, Jennifer. I'd add that reviewing what you've learned is just as important. Repetition helps solidify new information. Spend a few minutes each day revisiting vocabulary or phrases you practiced earlier in the week to reinforce your memory.
Another habit is creating a dedicated study space. Having a quiet and comfortable area for learning helps you focus better. Keep it free from distractions and make sure you have all the materials you need, like notebooks, pens, or a dictionary.
Consistency is key. Try to study at the same time every day. Whether it's in the morning, during your lunch break, or before bed, a routine helps your brain adjust and makes learning feel like a natural part of your day.
And don't forget to take breaks. Short breaks during study sessions help you stay fresh and avoid burnout. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method, where you study for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break.
Yes, breaks are vital. They allow your mind to process what you've learned. Also, celebrate small victories. Reward yourself when you achieve your goals, like finishing a chapter or understanding a new concept to stay motivated.
Speaking practice is one of the most important parts of learning English. Start by talking to yourself. Describe your day, practice common phrases, or even repeat sentences you hear in podcasts. It builds confidence without the pressure of an audience.
That's a great idea, Jennifer. When you're ready to interact with others, try joining a language exchange group. These groups let you practice English with native speakers while helping them learn your language. It's a win-win for everyone.
If you don't have access to a group, use apps that connect you with conversation partners. Speaking regularly improves fluency, and you'll also pick up cultural nuances and natural expressions from native speakers.
I'd also recommend recording yourself speaking. Play it back to identify areas for improvement, like pronunciation or intonation. It's a simple but effective way to refine your skills and track your progress over time.
Don't shy away from making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning, and they help you grow. Focus on communicating your message rather than being perfect, and over time, your confidence will grow naturally.
Absolutely. Confidence comes with practice. The more you use English in real conversations, the more natural it will feel. Remember, every conversation, no matter how small, brings you one step closer to fluency.
One challenge beginners often face is feeling overwhelmed by the amount of vocabulary to learn. Focus on the most commonly used words first. Learning high-frequency words gives you the tools to understand and participate in basic conversations.
That's a smart approach. Another challenge is dealing with fear of speaking. To overcome this, start small. Practice with a trusted friend or family member, or speak in low-pressure environments like ordering food at a cafe.
Many learners struggle with understanding native speakers because of fast speech. Don't worry if you can't catch every word. Focus on keywords and the overall context. As your listening skills improve, understanding will become easier.
I agree. Subtitles are also helpful. Watch videos or movies with subtitles in English. This bridges the gap between listening and reading, helping you match spoken words with their written form.
Some learners feel frustrated when they don't see quick results. Remember, language learning is a journey. Celebrate small wins and trust the process. Progress may be slow, but consistent effort will lead to success.
Exactly, Jennifer. Patience and perseverance are critical. Think of each challenge as an opportunity to grow. Overcoming these obstacles builds the resilience and confidence you need to become a fluent English speaker.
Technology is a powerful tool for beginners learning English. Start with language apps like Duolingo or Memrise. These apps are great for building vocabulary, practicing pronunciation, and tracking your progress, all in a fun and interactive way.
That's a great suggestion. I'd also recommend using video platforms like YouTube. Many channels offer free lessons on grammar, vocabulary, and listening skills. Watching videos lets you learn at your own pace and practice with authentic materials.
Another idea is to use podcasts like this one. Listening to podcasts helps you develop listening comprehension and exposes you to natural conversations. Plus, you can listen anytime while commuting, exercising, or even doing chores.
Yes, podcasts are fantastic. You can also try speech recognition tools. Apps like Google Translate or AI-powered assistants like Siri or Alexa let you practice speaking and pronunciation. They may not be perfect, but they give instant feedback.
Don't forget social media. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have short English lessons from educators and learners worldwide. Following accounts focused on English learning can keep you motivated and introduce new tips daily.
I'd add that technology should be balanced with traditional learning methods. Use it to complement, not replace, activities like reading books or writing in a journal. Combining tools and habits creates a well-rounded approach to learning.
Developing a daily routine is crucial for making consistent progress. Set aside specific times for learning. For example, spend 20 minutes in the morning reviewing vocabulary and 30 minutes in the evening practicing listening or speaking skills.
Exactly. Structure helps you stay committed. Include a mix of activities to keep it interesting. Alternate between watching videos, reading articles, and practicing with a friend. Variety prevents boredom and keeps your brain engaged.
Try integrating English into your daily life. Label household items with their English names, think in English while doing tasks, or listen to English music. These small habits make language learning a seamless part of your routine.
That's a good idea. Another tip is to keep a learning journal. Write about your progress, note new words or phrases, and set goals for each week. Reflecting on your journey helps you stay organized and see how far you've come.
Don't overlook relaxation time. Rest is just as important as practice. Learning a language is demanding, so make sure to include time for hobbies or activities that recharge you, even if they aren't related to English.
Absolutely. A healthy balance between study and leisure is key. The goal is to enjoy the process. When you approach learning with a positive mindset and consistent effort, your skills will improve naturally over time.
Staying motivated is one of the biggest challenges for beginners. To keep your enthusiasm, remind yourself why you're learning English. Whether it's for work, travel, or connecting with others, having a clear purpose keeps you focused.
That's so true. Another way to stay motivated is by setting rewards. Treat yourself when you reach milestones, like completing a course or holding your first full conversation in English. Celebrating success keeps the process exciting.
Surround yourself with positive influences. Join online communities of learners, follow inspiring English teachers, or share your progress with friends. Encouragement and support from others make the journey more enjoyable.
Yes, a support system is invaluable. I'd also suggest tracking your progress. Use apps or notebooks to record what you've achieved. Seeing your growth over time is incredibly motivating and reminds you that every effort counts.
Lastly, be patient with yourself. It's normal to have days when progress feels slow. Instead of getting discouraged, reflect on what you've accomplished and trust that consistency will lead to long-term success.
Well said, Jennifer. Remember, motivation isn't constant, but discipline bridges the gap. When you make learning a habit, it becomes part of your lifestyle. Keep moving forward, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
Starting anything new, especially learning a language, comes with challenges. One of the first is overcoming the fear of making mistakes. Beginners often hesitate to speak because they fear judgment. Remember, mistakes are essential for learning and growth.
Absolutely, Jennifer. It's important to see mistakes as stepping stones. When you make an error, you learn what to improve. A supportive environment helps too. Practice with friends or groups who encourage rather than criticize. This builds confidence.
Another challenge is staying consistent. Many learners feel overwhelmed by the amount of material to cover. Start small and set realistic goals. For example, focus on learning 5 new words a day or mastering a simple conversation topic each week.
That's key. Breaking goals into smaller tasks makes them more manageable. Also, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Instead, focus on your journey and celebrate the progress you've made, no matter how small.
Frustration is another hurdle. You might feel stuck when you don't see immediate progress. In those moments, take a step back and remind yourself that learning a language is a long-term commitment. Patience is vital to your success.
I agree. When frustration arises, switch to a fun activity like watching a movie in English or playing language games. Changing your approach can refresh your mind and reignite your interest. Always keep your end goal in mind to stay motivated.
Speaking is often the most intimidating skill for beginners, but it's also the most rewarding. Start by practicing short, simple sentences. For example, introduce yourself or describe your day. Small steps build your confidence over time.
Great advice. Another tip is to use mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and speak aloud. This helps you become comfortable with how you sound and improves your fluency. Plus, it's a private and pressure-free way to build speaking skills.
If possible, find a language partner. It could be a friend, a teacher, or someone online. Platforms like Tandem or HelloTalk connect learners with native speakers or other learners. Practicing with a partner builds conversational skills and boosts confidence.
That's true. Speaking with someone also teaches you real-life expressions and slang that you might not learn from books. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on communicating your message. The more you practice, the better you'll get.
Another fun way to practice is by reading aloud. Choose a simple text or story in English and read it with expression. This not only improves pronunciation, but also helps you understand sentence structure and rhythm.
And let's not forget role-playing. Pretend you're in a cafe or at a store and practice dialogues. You can even record yourself to review your progress. Speaking is like any skill. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes.
Listening is one of the most essential skills when learning English. Start with materials that match your level, such as beginner podcasts, audiobooks, or slow-paced YouTube videos. Actively listening improves not just comprehension, but also pronunciation.
Right, Jennifer. Active listening means focusing on understanding, not just hearing. Pause and repeat sections you find difficult. Write down unfamiliar words, look them up, and listen again. Over time, your vocabulary and ability to catch phrases improve.
Another great strategy is listening with subtitles. Watch movies or shows in English with English subtitles. This helps you connect the spoken word to its written form, which is incredibly useful for improving both listening and reading skills.
Absolutely, and as you progress, try turning the subtitles off for short sections. Challenge yourself to understand the dialogue without extra help. This strengthens your ear for the language and boosts your confidence when listening in real-life situations.
Engage with English daily, listen to songs, and try to understand the lyrics or follow along with news reports. Even 15 minutes a day can make a difference. You'll notice improvements in your ability to pick up different accents and tones.
That's so true. Listening helps you learn the rhythm and intonation of English. It's not just about words, but how they're used in context, and don't forget to enjoy the process. When learning is fun, you'll stay motivated and improve faster.
Reading and writing are equally important for building strong English skills. Start with short, simple text like children's books, blog posts, or news articles written for learners. These materials are accessible and introduce practical vocabulary.
That's a good starting point. When reading, don't just skim. Take notes on new words or phrases and practice using them in sentences. This makes the vocabulary stick and helps you understand how it's applied in different contexts.
Writing complements reading. Keep a daily journal in English. Write about your day, your thoughts, or your goals. Start with simple sentences and gradually expand. Writing forces you to think in English, which strengthens your language foundation.
And don't hesitate to get feedback. Share your writing with friends, teachers, or online language communities. Constructive feedback helps you correct mistakes and refine your grammar, making your communication clearer and more effective.
Reading aloud can also boost both skills. Choose a text and read it out loud to practice pronunciation while absorbing the content. Pairing this with writing exercises reinforces what you've learned and improves your ability to express yourself.
Exactly. Combining reading and writing makes you more well-rounded as a learner. These skills open doors to understanding more complex material and communicating effectively, whether in emails, messages, or even essays.
Consistency is the key to learning any language. Create a study routine that fits your schedule. Even 20 minutes a day can yield significant results if you stick with it. Regular practice ensures that what you learn stays fresh in your mind.
That's a great tip. To stay consistent, set clear goals, like learning 10 new words a week or finishing a book in English by the end of the month. Break these goals into smaller tasks so they feel manageable and rewarding.
Motivation is another factor. Find what excites you about English. Maybe you want to travel, connect with people, or watch your favorite shows without translations. Having a purpose gives you a reason to push through challenges.
True. And celebrate small wins. Did you have a full conversation in English? Did you understand a podcast without subtitles? These milestones matter and keep you inspired. Rewarding yourself makes learning feel less like a chore.
Surround yourself with positivity, join groups or forums where learners share their progress and challenges. Seeing others succeed motivates you to keep going. Plus, it reminds you that you're part of a larger learning community.
And finally, don't forget to enjoy the journey. Language learning is a process, not a race. Be patient with yourself, stay curious, and celebrate every improvement. The more you enjoy the process, the easier it becomes to stay consistent.
Speaking can feel intimidating, especially as a beginner. Start by talking to yourself. Describe what you see, think, or plan to do. This builds your confidence without the pressure of an audience. Practice simple sentences and focus on clear pronunciation.
That's a great strategy, Jennifer. Another way to build confidence is by recording yourself. Speak about a topic, play it back, and evaluate how you sound. This helps you identify areas for improvement, like pronunciation or fluency, and track your progress over time.
Joining language exchange programs or speaking clubs is another effective method. These provide safe spaces to practice speaking with others who are also learning. You'll make mistakes, but those mistakes teach you what to work on next.
Right, and don't worry about being perfect. Mistakes are natural and part of the process. Focus on conveying your message, even if your grammar isn't flawless. The goal is communication, and perfection will come with practice over time.
Learning common phrases or expressions can also help. Memorize simple conversational phrases like "How are you?" or "Can you help me?" These act as building blocks for more complex conversations and give you a foundation to work from.
Exactly. Pair those phrases with role-play exercises. Pretend you're ordering food, asking for directions, or introducing yourself to someone new. These scenarios make your practice more realistic and prepare you for real-life interactions.
Technology is a fantastic resource for learning English. Apps like Duolingo, Memorize, or Babbel offer interactive lessons for vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. They're easy to use and perfect for fitting learning into a busy schedule.
Absolutely. YouTube is another powerful tool. There are countless channels dedicated to teaching English for all levels. You can learn grammar rules, watch pronunciation guides, or follow vlogs to see how English is used in everyday life.
Podcasts are another great option. Listening to English podcasts, like this one, exposes you to natural speech patterns and accents. Pause and replay segments to catch tricky phrases. It's a great way to improve listening while multitasking.
And let's not forget about online dictionaries and thesauruses. Tools like Cambridge or Merriam-Webster provide definitions, example sentences, and audio pronunciations. Use them to deepen your understanding of new words.
Social media platforms can also help. Follow English language accounts, join learner groups, or participate in challenges like Word of the Day. These keep you engaged and introduce vocabulary in a fun and interactive way.
That's true, and virtual tutors or classes are another option. Many platforms connect you with native speakers for one-on-one lessons. These sessions focus on your specific needs and provide real-time feedback to improve your skills.
Every learner faces challenges, but the key is not to get discouraged. For instance, struggling with pronunciation is normal. Break down difficult words into syllables, practice them slowly, and repeat until you feel comfortable saying them.
That's solid advice. Another common challenge is understanding fast speech. Native speakers often speak quickly, but don't worry. Start with slower materials and gradually move to faster content as your listening skills improve.
Some learners also feel nervous about speaking with native speakers. Remember, most people appreciate your effort to learn their language. Start small with short conversations, and as your confidence grows, take on longer discussions.
Exactly, and don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't understand something, say, "Could you repeat that?" or "What does that mean?" People are usually happy to explain, and asking questions shows your willingness to learn.
Feeling stuck is another challenge. If you're not making progress, try changing your routine. Experiment with new resources, join a class, or set a fresh goal. Sometimes, a small change can reignite your motivation and help you move forward.
Finally, be patient with yourself. Language learning takes time, and progress can feel slow. Celebrate small victories, like understanding a song lyric or completing a conversation. These moments remind you how far you've come and inspire you to keep going.
Expanding your vocabulary is key to learning English. Start with words related to your daily life. Write down 10 words each day that describe your surroundings, actions, or interests. Use them in sentences to reinforce your understanding and memory.
Great point, Jennifer. Reading is one of the best ways to build vocabulary. Start with simple books, articles, or even children's stories. Highlight words you don't know, look up their meanings, and note how they're used in context. This practice will boost your comprehension.
Using flashcards is another effective method. Apps like Anki or Quizlet let you create digital flashcards with words, definitions, and example sentences. Review them regularly to keep the words fresh in your mind and solidify your long-term memory.
Yes, and don't forget to group words by theme. Learning related words together, like items in a kitchen or emotions, helps you see patterns and connections. It's much easier to recall words when they're linked to a specific category or scenario.
Speaking out loud is also essential. After learning new words, practice using them in full sentences. For example, if you learn excited, try saying, "I'm excited about learning English today." This reinforces your knowledge and improves your speaking skills.
That's so true, and try setting a weekly goal. For example, aim to learn 50 new words and test yourself at the end of the week. Consistent practice combined with achievable goals will steadily grow your vocabulary over time.
Grammar can seem overwhelming, but start small. Focus on essential parts like subject-verb agreement, basic tenses, and sentence structure. Learning the foundation makes it easier to add complexity later. Start with simple sentences like "I eat breakfast."
I agree, Jennifer. Using grammar guides or beginner books can simplify things. Many resources break down concepts into easy steps with examples. Practice writing and saying sentences to ensure you're comfortable with the rules before moving to the next topic.
A fun way to practice grammar is by writing a short diary. Each day, write a few sentences about what you did or plan to do. This not only improves your grammar, but also helps you think in English, which is essential for fluency.
Great suggestion. Grammar games and quizzes online are also effective. Websites and apps offer exercises that are interactive and enjoyable. For instance, fill-in-the-blank activities test your understanding and keep learning fun.
Don't hesitate to ask questions when you're unsure. Whether it's a teacher, a friend, or an online community, there are always people willing to explain grammar rules. Engaging in discussions clarifies doubts and deepens your knowledge.
And practice is key. Mistakes are normal when you're learning grammar, but every mistake is an opportunity to improve. Keep writing, speaking, and reviewing, and soon the rules will become second nature to you.
Listening is one of the most important aspects of learning English. Start with content made for learners, such as slow-paced podcasts or audiobooks. Focus on understanding keywords and the overall message rather than catching every detail.
That's a good point, Jennifer. Watching movies or TV shows with subtitles is another great method. Begin with subtitles in your language, then switch to English. This way, you can connect words to their pronunciation and learn natural expressions.
Listening to songs is a fun way to improve as well. Choose songs with clear lyrics, look them up, and sing along. This not only helps you get used to the sounds of English, but also introduces new vocabulary and idiomatic phrases in an enjoyable way.
Absolutely, and don't forget repetition. Listening to the same material several times helps you catch new details with each play. For instance, rewatching a short video or re-listening to a podcast episode strengthens your understanding and familiarity.
Interactive tools like language apps often include listening exercises. These help train your ear to different accents and speeds. Focus on understanding the main ideas and use the transcripts to follow along and catch missed words.
Lastly, practice shadowing. This means repeating what you hear right after listening to it. For example, pause a podcast after each sentence and mimic the speaker's tone and rhythm. It's an excellent way to train both your listening and speaking skills.
Speaking can feel intimidating, but start by practicing alone. Talk to yourself in front of a mirror or record your voice. Begin with simple phrases like introducing yourself, describing your day, or stating your favorite food. This builds confidence in your speech.
That's a great tip, Jennifer. Another strategy is to use conversation scripts. Find common dialogues like ordering food or asking for directions and practice them aloud. Repeating these scenarios improves fluency and makes real-life interactions feel natural.
Engaging in language exchange is also powerful. Connect with native speakers or advanced learners online. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk let you practice with real people while learning about their culture. It's an interactive way to build your skills.
Absolutely, and joining speaking clubs or groups locally or virtually can help too. These environments are designed for practice and everyone is there to learn. It's less intimidating because you're surrounded by others who understand the challenge.
Using prompts to guide conversations is helpful as well. For instance, choose a topic like travel or hobbies and talk about it for 1 minute. Gradually increase the time as your confidence grows. It's a great way to develop spontaneity in speaking.
Another idea is to mimic real-life speech. Listen to podcasts, videos, or TV shows and repeat what the speakers say. Focus on matching their pronunciation, tone, and pace. Over time, this helps you sound more natural and fluent.
Reading is crucial for language learning. Start with simple materials like children's books, short stories, or graded readers designed for beginners. These resources use basic vocabulary and grammar, making it easier to understand and enjoy the process.
That's true. Jennifer, articles from language learning websites are another great option. They often provide glossaries or explanations for difficult words, helping you build your vocabulary while you read. Begin with topics that interest you to stay motivated.
Reading aloud is also a powerful exercise. It improves pronunciation, fluency, and comprehension. Choose a paragraph from a book or article. Read it slowly at first, and then pick up the pace. It's like practicing speaking and reading at the same time.
Yes, and don't forget to use dictionaries to clarify new words. Online tools like Cambridge Dictionary provide definitions, example sentences, and audio pronunciations. Understanding the context of words makes reading more enjoyable and meaningful.
Another tip is to summarize what you've read. After finishing a chapter or article, write down or say out loud the main ideas in your own words. This reinforces comprehension and helps you remember key points better.
That's excellent advice. Also, keep a reading journal. Note down interesting words, phrases, or quotes you come across and try to use them later in your writing or speaking. This method keeps your learning organized and effective.
Writing can be challenging, but it's an essential skill to practice. Start small by writing simple sentences or short paragraphs about your day. For example, today, I went to the park. The weather was sunny. Gradually add more details as you feel comfortable.
That's a great starting point. Journaling is another effective way to practice. Write about your thoughts, goals, or even dreams. Don't worry about mistakes at first. The focus is on expressing yourself in English and building confidence in your writing.
If you're unsure where to begin, use prompts. For instance, write about your favorite food or a memorable trip. Prompts give you direction and make it easier to get started. Over time, you'll find yourself writing more naturally and creatively.
That's so true. Peer feedback can also help. Share your writing with friends, teachers, or online communities like Reddit or LangCorrect. Constructive feedback highlights areas for improvement and helps you see progress over time.
Using templates is another helpful method. For example, if you're writing an email or essay, follow a basic structure. This reduces confusion and allows you to focus on the content. As you practice, you'll develop your unique writing style.
Lastly, review and revise your work. Reread what you've written, look for errors, and make corrections. This not only polishes your writing, but also helps you learn from mistakes. Over time, this habit will make you a more confident and skilled writer.
In today's world, technology offers amazing tools to help you learn English. For example, language learning apps like Duolingo, Babbel, and Memrise are excellent for beginners. They help you learn vocabulary, grammar, and even practice listening, all in a fun, interactive way.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Also, consider using online platforms like YouTube. Channels dedicated to teaching English, such as BBC Learning English or English Class 101, have free lessons on everything from grammar to conversation practice. The variety of videos makes learning fun.
Yes, and don't forget about podcasts. Many language learners listen to English podcasts to improve their listening skills. For example, podcasts like Learn English with Podcasts or The English We Speak focus on everyday vocabulary, phrases, and real-world situations.
Another useful tool is speech recognition software. Apps like Google Assistant or Siri can help you practice pronunciation. You can ask them questions, repeat sentences, and they will give you feedback, helping you adjust your accent and pronunciation for clearer communication.
There's also the option of online language exchange. Websites like italki or Hellotalk connect you with native speakers, allowing you to practice speaking in real time. This is an excellent way to improve conversational skills without leaving the comfort of your home.
Finally, social media can also be a powerful tool for learning. Follow English language influencers, join Facebook groups, or participate in online challenges. Interacting with English content and people in these spaces gives you the exposure and practice you need to grow.
Consistency is key when learning a new language. Try to set aside at least 15 to 30 minutes each day for focused study. Even if it's just reviewing new vocabulary or listening to a short podcast, regular practice will make a big difference in your progress.
Absolutely. Jennifer, you don't need long hours to see progress. It's better to study consistently in smaller chunks rather than cramming all your learning into one day. This approach helps your brain retain information more effectively over time.
You can also make your learning part of your daily routine. For instance, listen to an English podcast during your commute or practice vocabulary while cooking. The more you integrate learning into your everyday activities, the less effort it feels like.
That's an excellent strategy. Setting goals is also important. Start with small, achievable goals like learning 5 new words a day or practicing one conversation topic for a week. As you meet your goals, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and stay motivated to continue.
Another tip is to track your progress. Keep a language journal where you write down what you've learned each day or week. Seeing how much you've improved can be really motivating and remind you of how far you've come.
And remember, Mistakes are part of the process. Don't be afraid to make them. Embrace them as learning opportunities. The more you practice and correct yourself, the faster you'll improve. Consistency and patience will help you build lasting skills.
Immersion is one of the most effective ways to learn a language. If you can't travel to an English-speaking country, try to bring the language to you. Watch movies, TV shows, or YouTube videos in English. The more you listen, the more you'll understand.
Exactly, Jennifer. Surrounding yourself with English in various forms like music, podcasts, or audiobooks creates a language-rich environment. This constant exposure helps your brain naturally pick up words, phrases, and even cultural nuances.
You can also read English news articles or blogs. If you're interested in a particular subject, try finding blogs or websites that use simple English. This will keep you engaged while improving your vocabulary and understanding of current events.
And don't just listen or read, try speaking and writing in English too. For instance, start a blog, write social media posts in English, or participate in online forums. Writing regularly helps you apply what you've learned and improves both your writing and grammar skills.
Another great way to immerse yourself is by joining an online community. You can find Facebook groups, Reddit threads, or language exchange platforms where learners and native speakers share tips, resources, and advice. This gives you both practice and motivation.
Lastly, if you can, travel to an English-speaking country or attend a language immersion program. Being physically surrounded by native speakers, hearing real-life conversations, and using English in everyday situations will accelerate your learning like nothing else.
One of the most crucial aspects of learning English is practicing speaking. It can be intimidating at first, but speaking every day, even if it's just a few sentences, will greatly improve your fluency. Start by repeating sentences you hear in movies or podcasts.
That's a great suggestion, Jennifer. Another way to practice speaking is by recording yourself. Listen to how you sound and make notes on areas where you can improve, like pronunciation or intonation. It's a simple way to track your progress.
Speaking regularly with a language partner is also very effective. Whether it's a friend or a tutor, conversational practice helps you gain confidence. You can use platforms like italki or Preply to connect with English speakers and have real-time conversations.
Absolutely, and listening is just as important. The more you listen to native speakers, the better your understanding will be. Try listening to podcasts, news, or audiobooks in English. Over time, you'll become more comfortable with different accents and dialects.
Listening to songs or watching movies in English is also a great way to pick up new words and phrases. You can start by watching with subtitles and then try to follow along without them. This helps you focus on how words sound in natural conversations.
Another tip is to listen and mimic. After hearing a sentence or phrase, pause the audio and repeat what you just heard. This improves both your pronunciation and your listening comprehension, allowing you to sound more like a native speaker.
One of the best ways to strengthen your English skills is by using the language in real-life situations. Practice speaking with your friends, family, or coworkers, even if it's just about everyday topics. You don't need to wait until you're perfect. Start small.
Exactly, Jennifer. If you're at a store or cafe, try ordering in English, even if you're a beginner. Simple interactions like asking for directions or chatting with a stranger in English can help build your confidence and improve your speaking abilities.
Traveling can also provide you with real-life opportunities to practice. If you're in an English-speaking country, try to use English as much as possible, whether it's ordering food, asking for help, or engaging in casual conversations with locals.
Even if traveling isn't an option, virtual interactions can be just as effective. Join online groups, participate in discussions, or connect with people through language exchange apps. These platforms provide an excellent opportunity to practice English with people from all over the world.
You can also practice writing English in everyday situations. For example, try writing emails or making to-do lists in English. Start with short and simple sentences and gradually challenge yourself to write more complex thoughts or ideas.
By using English in real-life contexts, whether it's speaking, listening, reading, or writing, you'll make progress faster. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every conversation or interaction is a chance to learn and improve.
As you continue your English learning journey, reading and writing are essential skills to develop. Start by reading books or articles in English that match your current level. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on context and getting the main idea.
That's right, Jennifer. Over time, as you read more, your vocabulary and understanding of grammar will naturally improve. You can start with simple texts such as children's books or short stories and gradually challenge yourself with more complex material.
Another way to enhance your reading skills is by summarizing what you read. After finishing a paragraph or chapter, try to write a short summary of what you learned. This will help you reinforce new vocabulary and improve your ability to understand key points.
When it comes to writing, start by writing short paragraphs or even journal entries. Don't worry too much about making everything perfect. The goal is to express your ideas and thoughts in English. With practice, your writing will become clearer and more natural.
You can also join online writing communities or forums where you can post your writing and receive feedback from others. Websites like Lang8 or Grammarly provide useful feedback that will help you understand your strengths and areas for improvement.
The key to developing both reading and writing skills is regular practice. Set aside time each day to read, write, and review your work. The more you engage with English in these ways, the more confident and proficient you will become.
Learning English can be challenging, especially in the beginning. It's normal to feel frustrated or overwhelmed at times. One way to overcome these challenges is by setting realistic goals. Focus on small, achievable tasks that you can work on daily and celebrate your progress.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Another challenge learners often face is fear of making mistakes. Remember, making mistakes is a natural part of learning a new language. Don't be afraid to speak, write, or try out new words because every mistake is a lesson in itself.
Exactly. It's important to stay positive and patient with yourself. If you make a mistake, take note of it, but don't dwell on it. Reflect on why the mistake happened and how you can do better next time. Over time, you'll gain more confidence.
I agree. One strategy that can help is breaking down bigger goals into smaller, manageable pieces. For example, instead of aiming to speak English fluently, set goals like learn 10 new words each week or hold a 5-minute conversation with someone in English.
Tracking your progress is also a powerful tool. Keep a journal or a list of milestones you've achieved, no matter how small. Looking back at how far you've come can be incredibly motivating and will remind you that you're moving forward, even if it doesn't always feel that way.
And don't forget to reward yourself when you hit those smaller milestones. It can be as simple as treating yourself to something you enjoy. Positive reinforcement can help maintain your motivation and remind you why you're on this journey of learning English.
Motivation plays a huge role in how successful we are at learning English. One way to stay motivated is by setting a personal reason for learning. Whether it's for travel, career advancement, or simply connecting with more people, having a clear goal will keep you focused.
I love that idea, Jennifer. Having a why is essential. Another way to stay motivated is by engaging with English content that you enjoy. If you love watching movies, find English movies with subtitles. If you love music, listen to English songs and try to understand the lyrics.
That's such a fun way to learn. It's about making English part of your daily life in a way that's enjoyable. You can also follow English-speaking social media accounts, listen to podcasts, or read blogs that align with your interests to keep things exciting.
Exactly, Jennifer. You don't have to learn in a boring or traditional way. If you're passionate about sports, for example, follow English language sports channels or read articles about your favorite teams in English. This keeps learning connected to something you love.
Another key to maintaining motivation is by surrounding yourself with supportive people. Join online communities, participate in language exchange programs, or simply chat with friends who are also learning English. Sharing the experience with others can keep you motivated. There are many ways to learn English, and it's important to find a method that suits you. Some people prefer structured lessons, while others like more informal approaches. One method that's worked well for me is immersive learning. Surrounding yourself with English as much as possible is key.
I completely agree with you, Jennifer. Immersing yourself in the language helps you get used to it naturally. Watching TV shows, listening to English podcasts, and reading books in English make the language feel familiar as though it's part of your everyday life.
Exactly. You can even try thinking in English as a way of practicing. For example, when you're going about your day, try to describe what you're doing in English or think about how to say certain words or phrases in English. This helps you build your language skills unconsciously.
Another great method is to use language learning apps. Many apps focus on vocabulary, grammar, and speaking skills. Apps like Duolingo or Babbel can give you structured lessons to follow, and they're easy to use during your daily routine.
Don't be afraid to combine different methods as well. For example, you can take an online course to work on grammar, while simultaneously listening to podcasts to improve your listening and speaking skills. Combining techniques makes the learning process more comprehensive.
Yes, and don't forget that the best method is the one that works for you. Everyone learns differently, so try different things, see what fits your style, and stick with it. It's all about consistency and finding ways that keep you engaged and excited.
One of the most important aspects of learning English is building a strong vocabulary. A wide range of words allows you to express yourself clearly and confidently. Start by learning common words and phrases used in everyday conversations. Focus on practical vocabulary that you can use in various situations.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Another helpful way to expand your vocabulary is by learning words in context. Instead of memorizing isolated words, try to learn them in sentences or phrases. This helps you understand how words are used naturally, making it easier to remember and use them later.
That's a great approach, Thomas. To reinforce new vocabulary, try to use the words you learn in conversations or writing. Practice is key. You can even keep a vocabulary journal where you write down new words, their meanings, and example sentences.
I agree. Another technique is to group related words together. For example, learning words related to food, travel, or work. This allows you to understand how words connect, and it makes recalling them much easier in the future.
Also, don't just focus on formal vocabulary. Try learning informal phrases and idioms too. This helps you sound more natural when speaking. Watching TV shows or movies can be a great way to pick up common expressions and slang.
And remember, it's not just about learning more words, it's about using them effectively. So, when you're learning a new word, think about how you can incorporate it into your daily life. The more you use it, the more comfortable you'll become with it.
Pronunciation is another area where beginners often struggle. But don't worry, it's a skill that improves with practice. One way to work on your pronunciation is by listening to native speakers and imitating their speech patterns. This can help you understand the rhythm and flow of the language.
That's right, Jennifer. Pay attention to how native speakers stress certain syllables and words. You'll notice that some words are pronounced with more emphasis and others are said more softly. This is something you can practice by repeating after them.
Another great tool is using language apps that focus on pronunciation. Many apps have features where you can listen to native speakers and repeat what they say, helping you refine your accent. Don't worry if you don't get it right the first time. It takes time.
It's also helpful to break down difficult words into smaller parts. When you come across a word that's hard to pronounce, try saying it slowly and practice it in sections. Over time, you'll get the hang of it and be able to say it more smoothly.
And remember, English has many sounds that may not exist in your native language. Don't be discouraged if you find certain sounds tricky. Keep practicing, and eventually, your mouth and tongue will get used to producing those sounds correctly.
Lastly, practice speaking with others as much as possible. Whether it's with a language exchange partner or a tutor, speaking is the best way to improve your pronunciation. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become in your ability to pronounce English words correctly.
Listening is just as important as speaking when it comes to learning English. In fact, you'll often learn more by listening than by speaking. Start by listening to English podcasts, music, or audiobooks. This helps you become familiar with the sounds, rhythm, and pace of native speakers.
That's so true, Jennifer. Listening is a key part of understanding the language. A great tip is to listen to content that interests you, whether it's a podcast about travel, sports, or technology. You'll enjoy the process more, which makes learning easier.
Another technique is to listen actively. This means focusing on the words and phrases being used, trying to understand their meaning, and noticing the speaker's intonation. It helps you pick up new vocabulary and improve your understanding of how English sounds.
Exactly, listening to conversations also exposes you to different accents, speeds of speaking, and slang. So don't worry if you find it difficult at first. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to understand English, even when spoken quickly or with different accents.
One more tip is to listen to audio with transcripts, if available. This way, you can follow along as you listen and see the words written out. This reinforces both listening and reading skills at the same time.
And don't forget to practice listening to both formal and informal English. Real-life conversations often use casual phrases, so listening to informal English can be just as valuable as practicing formal language. The goal is to be able to understand and participate in any conversation.
That wraps up our discussion for today on how to start learning English as a beginner. We've covered some key areas like building a strong vocabulary, improving pronunciation, and enhancing listening skills. Remember, learning a language is a journey, and the most important thing is to keep practicing.
Absolutely. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to fluency. Be patient with yourself, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process. If you're new here, we upload English learning podcasts regularly to help you learn new phrases and develop better understanding in English.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you found today's episode helpful. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and join us on our next episode, where we'll dive into more tips and tricks for mastering English. Until then, keep practicing, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone, and remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get. See you next time.